G'day and welcome. And this video is about the XA Wagon, and that car was bought as a bit of a parts hack and a map as well to help me figure out how to put the dash and everything together on the other one. And it was cheap and it was there and all this sort of stuff. So we did one sort of introductory video and the support was really good. There was the odd sort of clown saying things like, oh, it's worth more for scrap and, you know, basket case and all this. This is the reason, that sort of attitude is the reason that a lot of old cars sort of go extinct after a while, because no one wants to put the energy in to fix them up. And the energy to fix it isn't that bad. I've pulled most of it apart now to the point where it's all easy repairs, except there's one major thing that has to be sort of looked at, and I'm going through my mind as to how I'm going to do it. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, really. I mean, there's always ways to do these things. For example, the Plenum on the EJ here is much harder than the work I have to do on that. And I can do that too. I'm not worried about any of it, really. So, this is going to be kind of... I've got to finish welding up the fairlane, because once I've finished welding, all the fairlane's fixed except the back part. There's some holes where the gas fittings were. There's some rust above the back window, and I think there is. It feels crunchy. It feels like there's cornflakes under the headlining, so there's obviously rust there. And also around the wheel arch, there's a bit there. And that shouldn't take too long, sort of because I'm in the mood to do it, and can get it out of the way quite quickly. And then I'll take the welder up there and start fixing the XA. I've got a couple of rust cuts for it, as well as the sedan. So the plan is to get the structure of that done. The main part of the structure, it's not going to be cosmetically beautiful. I'll take the pressure cleaner up in a fortnight. I'm going up in 2 weeks. Clean all the plenum out, clean the engine bay up and all that sort of stuff, so I really can see what I've got. But from what I've seen so far, it looks pretty good. So look, there'll be another video on that car when I'm cleaning it up in a fortnight, if you like. And then I'll let it sit until I've finished welding the fairlane, then I'll come back to it. And once I've welded the structure up in that wagon, we'll stick the engine in and get it going and all that sort of stuff, so at least I can drive it around. So, after all that, I hope you enjoy. We're back with our trusty old friend. I'm trying to get the bonnet open. The front door I did get open because I will open it from inside, wind the window up, and I've just taken the latch off. All looks pretty good, but the bonnet cable is C-solid, as we said before. And I mowed this 2 weeks ago. We're still in winter, but it needs doing again. Look what this kangaroo did. I've got all the guards for this car at home, because it always had a dent there. It's pushed all that in, it's folded that, and it's buckled it there. He'd never repair that, he wouldn't even try. But the front door's all sort of damaged as well. And even the back door. Look, it's pushed that in there, and it's even got a dent there, which I'll knock that out. I'll have to paint the whole side, and the bonnet, and the front bumper, and the back looks terrible as well. This car needs a paint job. Well, just to make it look presentable so the police don't see it and think, well, got to get that heap of crap off the road. So I'm trying to figure how to get this off, because I want to get it off today. And it's going to be tricky. So I'm just going to have a bit of a look underneath and see if I can come up with anything. I'm wondering, can you see? That bonnet does look a bit rusty actually. Where's the bonnet cable? Is over there. I'm wondering whether to cut it and try and pull it from inside. I can't get up here. I can't even undo that sort of bonnet dick thing. I was going to try and just undo that, but there's a lock nut at the top. I don't know how you get in these. I've never sort of tried. And I want to get that gearbox out today too. Cool. I've left my side cutters at home. That bonnet cable, I'm thinking about cutting it and then posting it out through the front. And that way I can sort of push on the bonnet while trying to lift it. Well, it cut fairly easily. Let's give it a go, eh? Champion effort. I got it. How do you lift an XA's bonnet? Oh, there. Oh my god, this is going to be heavy. Oh my goodness. Rusty bonnet. Well, not a $500 bonnet, a $100 bonnet. So let's have a look. Take stock. Alternator bracket for a 6, which we can use, I'm sure. Lovely old school relay. Have a look at that. Power brakes. Oh, this is grouse. This is the duck's guts. Right, just a sec. What have we got up here? We've got, hang on, zoom up. 772. So it's earlier than the sedan, and the paint is white. Kelly green. Beautiful. I'm just soaking this up. I freaking love this stuff. So cool. I might look for a better bonnet. I don't know. Then again, this is a banger. Let's just cut it up and weld it up. Good thing. Really good thing. Let me go and get a brush. I don't think I need to take the Plenum off, because I think it is. Don't want to talk too soon. That's just dirt. I think the Plenum might be alright, you know. All this rust here fell out from inside the bonnet. Damn. That looks pretty damn good. Oh, I'm so wrapped. It's got the big booster too. And whoever took the engine out of it, I'd say it was the original engine, because no one ever puts those little spider washers back on. They're actually hard to get. You get repro ones now. They're bell housing by the look of it. Well, they must have, because they put that in, but those pedestals look different from the other 250 I've got. The Fairlanes one. That cross member's straight. It'll be flat at the bottom. Yeah, it is. So the easiest way to deal with that, well, I'll probably just leave it for now. With the V8, I would drill out the spot welds from this side and weld in the box so you can buy them. I might buy one and just let it sit there. But, Struth, look at it. It's pretty damn cool. Some of that wiring salvageable. Connectors are all there. It's really, really cool. That'll be the original high tone horn. I doubt that'll work. Struth, I'm happy with that. I was originally, I thought this was a column shift car. Column manual. Those pedals don't look like, the pads on them don't look like they've had much wear. Somebody's pulled the honeypot thing apart. The code for the transmission is R, which is column auto, I'm pretty sure. And you can see over there the original linkages for it. They've just popped a slave on. I think they did the same with the sedan as well. Chassis rails are good. Battery trays, excellent. I just gave it a bit of a smack with this thing. Oh, I've got a screwdriver. And can't complain with that, guys. Why don't you just take it and give it a bit of a clean up at home? Maybe pressure wash the engine bay. That's a Trico, it's not a Pres Light. Oh, it's a Lucas Trico. Or a Lucas wiper motor, but it's got Trico on that washer mechanism. I don't know what the story of that is. And it's not bolted in, it looks like it's just sitting there. Yes it is. Let's unzip this Plenum. I want to have a look in there, just to be certain. Everything, I'm going to take that home. And this could use a bit of hammer and dolly work. The radiator I've got at home that I can use on here is a crossflow, so I can just, it'll bolt in for where the V8s use them. Cast rod housings look really good. Check this out. The master still has fluid. It's pretty mangy fluid, but it's still there nonetheless. I mean, the $64,000 question is, hang on, is that on properly? Is there a pedal? I would doubt it very much. Damn, there's a bloody pedal. Well, the pedal's hard anyway. Imagine that. Imagine if it didn't need the brakes doing. I mean, it has to, because they're that rotten. I would think the wheel cylinders are pretty well seized. I think it's quite incredible what I'm finding here. It reminds me of there was a XA sedan sitting there idling. I think it was a Ford Motor Company. And I can't remember how the conversation started, but I was like, no, you got to leave that original. And the guy did all these, like he's pretty rude. And nah, the Plenum will be stuffed, this will be stuffed, that'll be stuffed, you got to redo it. And they're all being slowly eroded away into trailer queens and not left original. And I think that's a shame, because they're only original ones. You know. And if this car is any indication, you know, it doesn't have to be rusted out. This thing's been sitting outside for 15 years. And it's really good. So you can fix, you know, structure without, you know, pulling the whole car apart and repainting the whole thing. I reckon that's a better way to go. And the other thing, I mean, he's a condescending bugger because he goes, oh, I restore parts for GT Ford Performance and all this, and I would have restored the stuff you've used. And I don't buy anything from GT Ford. I restore my own stuff. And, you know, I think that's better than just buying reproduction or, I don't know what parts they were restoring. As far as I know, it's all repro stuff. Whoopsie. So, to my way of thinking, that's just crazy talk. I think it's actually a bit dumb, to be honest. You don't have to make everything new. And it probably sounds a bit hypocritical coming from me because I tend to paint everything and rebuild everything and all this sort of stuff. But I haven't got the means to buy a nice car like a GT or anything. I buy this sort of thing, you know, which has no provenance really. It's just an old banger. And the XC wasn't a whole lot better than this when I got it. It had less rust in it, but I was cutting firewalls out of it and parcel trays out of it and cast rod housings, all sorts of things out of that car. So in a way the XC was worse than this. But I try and make them into nice cars. And I reckon this will be easy to do that too. But just digging around, there's a nice little spot of Kelly Green down there. This car's a winner. It's a chicken dinner. Let's get that, sorry, plenum chamber off. Have a look. I don't have the right size socket to get these off. They're probably, I don't know what size it is, but 1/4 inch doesn't fit, it's too big. 7mm doesn't fit, and 6 is just a bit too small, but that's what I've been using to get them off, just by pushing as I turn. Oh, here we go. And they're long too. They're actually really tricky to get out. There we go. Plated, of course, but not for now. Okay. They're just under those clips, the windscreen mould clips. I don't get in and get to it. That's a nice straight one too. A really nice one. Let's pop it in the trailer for now. Let's have a look. Where's my brush? Dustpan brush thing. Here it is. There's all sorts of glasses up. Forgot to bring my bloody vacuum cleaner up. Well, so far so good. It's not really an indication at the top though. It's in there we need to see. But I have got my phone, my other phone, which has a light in it, and we're just going to pick out some glass. I'm just going to try and clean these shards up first, just a minute. It's so much better than the Fairlane was. That's all just dirt. Hang on, I'll try and leave that there. If I get a screwdriver right up in those corners, it's all solid. That's as good as the XC. The XC was from Witcherproof, which is Country Vec. And that's why that was particularly good. Around the vent pod's good. Even this thing's good. Look at it. They're nearly rusted. It is so good. I can't get those off. I haven't got the right size and I can't get the 1/2-inch socket in there, or the 3/8 drive socket in there. I just need to clean all in the Plenum out. But I'll tell you now, from the look of the front of it, there's no way in a fin I'm unpicking that. I'll just leave it. Clean it out, and it's bound to be gone under the guards. But it's really good. So far. The wiper motor looks like a bit of a gem too. Sometimes with old cars, I used to know a bloke that used to wreck old Holdens, and it was such a shame, but the things that got the most money were the things that, like, you know, if that was the same as a hoe used, it'd be worth more than this whole car. I don't know what they use, but I'm just saying as an example. These pivots are in great condition, and they use these clips. They don't use those silly plastic retaining clips. So they're in impeccable condition. There's still got its plating on there. Preslite pivots. Really, really good. It looks better in the photos than it does in real life. It's cracked and broken and all sorts of stuff, but I'm going to have a go at fixing it. I mean, why not? People charge too much for excellent grills, and the excellent grill will go on the sedan. The Wagon is a sort of a bits of car, so what's not good enough for the sedan will wind up on the Wagon. Where have I missed? Oh, there's more there. And we've got plenty of that gunmetal colour I mixed up for the 302 for the Fairlane. I mixed up too much of that. But I'll take that home and I'll fix it up. Make it look good again. I need to get the bumper off and the fill panel. And then I'll take that guard off because I know the sill's buggered in that side. And it looked like there was some water that had come down from this area in here, and I'd like to have a look at it. That's a rookie mistake. I should have taken this off first. It's just easy with that bumper there. That was kind of careless. Still, it's easy to get to these. A couple underneath. And that one, I don't actually know the proper order for taking them off, but, well, it's off. This is the worst rust that I've seen so far. And this is where it's ugly. down in the lower part of the sill. Now the torque box itself doesn't too bad, from what I can see of it. It might need to repair that. There's a little hole there. The rest of it's solid underneath and everything. Where's the screwdriver? That is structural. It's weird how it's done it though. Like it's all stuff there. We've got chunks of bog, or is that rust? No, it's rust. Dirt sitting in there, which could have done some damage, but from the underside it looks alright, but these things rust from the inside. That being said though, I think that's a very fixable repair, a very fixable thing. The rest of the inners look pretty good. I don't know if you can see down there. I'll have to get my little camera. I first thought this looked good, but we've got fiberglass under here. Will be rotted out at the side of the plenum, but what I'll do is to get it all right and have a look. I haven't got time at the moment, I've got to go out. Yeah, so that's all stuffed in there, but not as far down as the other car. So I need to get all that fiberglass off to have a better look, but I've run out of time now, I've got to run. Here's a very deadly looking little guy. A redback. Sorry, spider lovers, I'd never kill a spider, but a redback or a whitetail? No chance, Lance. We've got holes up under here, and there in the side of the plenum. That's actually really easy to change. Just cut down there. I'd be inclined not to unzip or upset any of that. We'll get a look inside it when we cut that off. I've just got to try and get under the edge, and I'm holding the camera because I've only got my little tripod today. Let me just get a hammer hand a sec. This doesn't worry me at all. It's actually easy to fix. And I would cut it right up to the wherever the rust stops, obviously behind there, hopefully. And there'll be a couple of skins. It's about 3 skins thick, I think. I'm just going to watch it and cut myself. I think I'm up to speed with my tetanus shots, I'm not sure. But what they've done, this is the same as the Fairlane. The fact they've glassed everything actually exacerbates the problem, because then moisture gets under it and it can't get away. So it causes more damage than it's worth. It's easier just to weld a plate, you know. But I need to have a look. I need to have a good look under there and all under here. This is what the XW was like. And I did it with 3 patches. Now you've got several skins. The edge of the plenum is there, I think. There's an edge of something there. Or maybe that's it there. No, I think that's the edge of the plenum there. So I've got to make up a piece. I've got to cut this back to about there. I might even just cut up there and across, because you won't see any of this. And we've got to repair that. That looks like it finishes there, but this piece here is all rotted. And that bit there, I don't know if that's a factory weld, but that's all scaly. So I want to take this right back and have a look at it to make sure it's still got, you know, a decent amount of thickness there. Otherwise I'll plate that as well. But that's not a bad thing, you know. That doesn't worry me at all. I'm not scared by that. I might just take the other guard off and have a look, because this is all, it's all up the top. It's fine. I think it is anyway. I can't see any issues. It's just dirty, and it inhibits us from seeing a lot of stuff. But certainly in the areas where you'd notice, all down here, good as gold. So I'm just going to take the other guard off now and we'll have a look there. Well, this side's a bit worse and a bit better. more of this sort of stuff. That does not look like fiberglass. Basically, A is rusted down there, and of course the front of the sill. I can't see. I'll get underneath and see if I can unearth anything more. I'm just a bit paranoid about the old red Beckies, but we'll take that filler panel off, and I'm going to scratch around in here and see if I can find any more rust. Solastic. Why the hell do people use this stuff? This is going to take a bit of getting off, I reckon. God, I hate that stuff. But I'm tipping it's going to be kind of similar to the other side. Maybe they ran out of Celestic and went for fiberglass, or vice versa. Or maybe they did it at different times and a different person did the repair. Hang on, repair, you know, the fingers. It's the same as the other side. Probably a little bit worse, but again, very doable. This has gone up onto the dash, so it's going to be made in several pieces. And again, the plenum looks fairly unscathed. It's to the side of it in that well. So I'm not worried about that at all. In fact, that's quite a fun repair, if there can be such a thing, because you take layer by layer off and you build it up, and you know, you get some satisfaction out of doing that sort of thing. I had hell's own trouble getting the Celastic off because I had to use a wire wheel. That one you've seen, of course. The thing, and you know what else? The floor pan, couldn't care less. They're actually not hard to do at all. The D-pillar skin, I'm not worried about that either. The thing that worries me is the structure. This guard I thought was knackered, but it's actually really, really good in its structure. It's a little bit down the bottom. The damage is all on the skin. So just at the bottom there, and I'll use the rust repair section for that. But that guard is definitely a keeper. We're putting that back on the car for sure. Right, final thoughts. This car is, the only thing that worries me is that torque box. This has a rust hole there, which I don't like. And they're full of silt. Not worried about that, not worried about flaws. Engine bay is perfect. And plenum chamber, I would also call perfect. Bonnet, who cares, it's a hang-on. Now, that I'm not worried about, as we've said. Flaws I'm not worried about. Tailgate I'm not worried about. Where's my spatula? I'm worried about where I put my spatula. Here's my spatula. This is where I'm in unfamiliar territory, because as soon as I saw that plate in the wheel arch when it was on the truck, I knew there was something nasty there. Now, this is outer sill. Yes, right down there. That's inner sill. But I do know, and I've pulled a pile of stuff out, that is absolutely chockers. It still feels solid, but I need to get some advice. Even if the news isn't good, which I'm sure it won't be, I'd still be inclined to fix the car, because I think it'd be a waste. And we save cars here, we don't scrap them, unless it's just unavoidable. But I think, you know, they do look good, but it's the inside that we've got to consider. So I reckon next time I come up, I'll come up in a couple of weeks, I'm going to bring my pressure cleaner. I'm going to hose all that out with high pressure water and the plenum, and watch it all drain, and really have a good look. But I reckon that's probably a good start. That'll tell us a lot more than what I can see now. But as I said, I think it's too good to scrap. I really do. The it's very easy to scrap a car, but this one's pretty good. You know, all things considered, it's been sitting outside for 15 years, and the fact the plenum's all right, the engine bay's all right, the dog legs are okay, the B pillars are all right, the A pillars, well, except the base of that one, are fine. You know, there's no corrosion up here or anything. So, you know, it's something I do want to fix. And I reckon almost fixing it to a point where, you know, not doing the body or anything, but just welding up, replacing what parts we need to, and just sticking the old guards back on and putting an engine in it. At least you know it's structurally good then. And I like to pull a car right down just so I see exactly what's there. That doesn't matter much, these things. Where that structure, the car's going to be undercover, but I'd be inclined just to make some patches and stick them in, just like we did with the XW. That turned out really well. Now behind here is a couple of XA bits, including a couple of sill panels. So why don't we get these out and have a look. So these are off an XB. This was Graham's. This is from the roof we put on the XA, and that's the inner sill, and it's really, really good. But it's not really usable because it's all been drilled out where the spot welds for the floor were, and the outriggers for seat braces and this sort of stuff. Oddly enough, our Wagon seems to be better nicked from a surface rust point of view in that area there. Right, now with it turned around, we can see that it's kind of not perfect. There's a couple of things we can do. I'm going to buy 2 outer sills, I think. The drama is I don't really want to dislodge or take off the B pillar, or the A for that matter, because in the Wagon all this is in great condition. What I'm thinking of doing is cutting it along here. Now that makes it weaker, and it is a structured member, but drilling a bunch of holes all along here, underneath that, cutting it, yeah, nice and straight. That's provided it's all good. I've got to check. Getting the new one, cutting the new one up here somewhere and joggling it so it fits in behind neatly, plug weld, and then one continuous weld all along where the joggle is. Metal finish it off, and I reckon we're golden. Because I reckon that's going to be the easiest solution for it. The other way we can do it is if I just cut along here on this piece, drill out the spot welds, and make those bits that work. They actually don't look difficult to make. We've got rollers, we've got all sorts of stuff there. It's actually quite thick steel, looks like about 1.2 mil. And you know, it's just got a right angle there, a slight radius, straight there. That's another way to do it too. That's actually the cheap way of doing it, because I don't want to fully restore this car. I'm not interested in that. I want to get it so it's structurally sound for as cheap as possible. And then, you know, if it's got rattle canned parts in it or whatever, I couldn't care less, as long as the body's good and it's nice and strong. So that's what I'm sort of thinking at the moment. That might be the best way to go. I can drill out just a portion of that. Actually, I might drill out along here and just cut off there and take that into work and say, you know, can I have 2 metre lengths of that? Because it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper. And they're craftsmen there. They're not, you know, some of the aftermarket stuff's pretty bad that you buy these days, but those guys will do it to the pattern. Cool. Someone's got a saw going. Right, so I've got all the right wheels here. I've got 3 right wheels. I've got the 3 small hub ones and an XD rim, which I'm not going to use on there. I'll get some tyres for this, put these onto those rims. I'll try and find another small hub rim, stick it on the car so it's mobile. But anyway, look, that's all I've got for you today. Hope you've enjoyed this. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.